auditing by just a precaution for us,
Right.
but not the main thing.
Yeah. The idea is not more of an audit like for safety or things like this, but I think it's more of a rating of the services offered by the FBO. And maybe it's used as a marketing tool than anything else, whereby you sell the preference of one FBO over the other one.
Well, then we'll have
I know the customer
a
has
five-star
yeah.
FBO, a four-star FBO, a three-star FBO. It will depend how many, if you have a swimming pool or if you don't have a swimming pool. So it will be coming again to a touristic or a hotel auditing.
Well, it's just like an airline, where you have several agencies worldwide that rate the airlines. Some of them, yes, they use proper information, proper statistics, and they give good ratings in the sense of utilization of data. And some are just Mickey Mouse rating agencies that just throw figures and with no base to them, and they give the wrong impression sometimes. So, what do you think, Khalid, about this?
Yes, for me, I see that, as you said exactly, it is not about the equipments or the facility itself. There is a service, and every service you can evaluate and you can give your satisfaction rate about it. Starting from the airline, the aircraft, the airport itself, the immigration officer, I'm talking about then the service on ground. You are going to deal with people, and these people, they have different mentalities, different attitudes, and you are going to deal with the office people, the operation response, the availability, accessibility. All this, I believe, you can rate. And usually the best who can rate them is the operations of the opposite side, the operators or the captains. They can tell you exactly. And this is why, actually, we are a global service provider. And so many people, they mention, I need to go to this airport. Please use this agent. This actually, it is not because they have relations with them. Otherwise, they have gone directly to them. But because actually they are satisfied and they know that they are reliable and they do the service on time. The accomplishment for that, there are so many criteria that we have to know that it can be measured. The failures, the facilities they have, availability, trainings, attitude, so many things you can feel them. It is not only about, and of course, if the operator is paying money, he has the right to go to the best.
Right.
If this is why competition is going to be there, and everyone is going to benefit. The handling company is going to benefit because they are going to work to improve them, to improve themselves, and the operator is going to benefit the good service provided.
Mr. John, what do you think of this? Do you see that there is a need to have independent agencies do actual ratings for the FBOs?
If you come from the principle that you want to have a unified standard and that you want to be measured like everything in life is being measured today, then you need someone to audit. Do we need agencies? I don't think so. Do we need the operators? Yes, but they have to be able to apply similar standards to a certain extent. And I'm again referring to the technical side, which is probably the easiest one. Okay, you have this flight planning, you have this handling, you have this thing that you do. I think the real difference in an FBO is really the human touch and the human service and the personality and the personalized service. And this is something which is then very individual, which you cannot put into a standard. This is not possible. So you need minimum features, minimum equipment. Yes, you're Isaac or you're whatever you are. But at the end of the day, the difference is, of course, is made then by the professionalism and the friendliness of the staff.
Thank you. Thank you. Sure, of course.
Yeah, actually, exactly as mentioned, this is true. You cannot control the people, but you can change them at some time. If you always complain that something is going wrong, then there is something missing in your services that you have to improve. And unless you have the measurements or maybe, let's say, the indications about that, you're not going to improve the services. This is why I believe everything can be measured. Sometimes people, they do this exercise internally, and they do see satisfaction of the client, even without the client sending a report asking for a report for or a claim about deviation of the service or something went wrong. They send asking for a quality report from the captain. Then we can adjust. I mean, when I ask the captain before he leaves, it's only a checkbox which he can do in a few minutes. If I can know where I can improve myself, maybe he say equipment availability, reliability, everything is okay. However, maybe somebody was late. This is, as exactly mentioned by Mr. Join, this is something which a human factor. But then we can work on this factor in order to improve it by training, by necessary actions.
Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah, I add something as well.
Right.
It also, as my colleague was just saying now, that with the flight handling reports, it depends also upon the management. That management has to take into consideration these flight handling reports. The ticking, where are the minor things? And to start to give training, on-job training, recurrent training. These are the main aspects.
So it's more of a self-initiative
Exactly.
on the part of the FBO itself to collect this information and assess themselves
Exactly.
internally and try to improve their service.
Personally, I see FBOs is like comparing a 3-star hotel and a 5-star hotel. 5-star hotels, you'll find, let's say, 4 Seasons, we are here. It's a resort, you have got everything. Everything is within hands, friendly atmosphere, friendly stuff. In a 3-star hotel, without mentioning any names, you go, take your luggage up, take everything, do everything yourself. I need some water, you've got the vending machine, go there. With big airports, it's the same as a 3-star hotel. With the FBOs, it's a specialized, special tailored, custom tailored for the client. There is a client who prefers having this person to work with him. There is another client, he hates his guts, so I will just give him what he wants, rather than looking at other things.
Thank you. Next area is, I think we've dwelled on this many times in the regulatory panels, and from an FBO point of view regarding the gray market or illegal flights. Some people feel that the FBOs should have a considerable role in identifying such operations and reporting them to the appropriate authorities. Again, from your point of view, would the FBOs be more receptive and accept such a responsibility if mandated by the regulatory authorities themselves, that the FBOs should identify illegal flights or a gray market operation that's going on? John, what do you think? It's a very touchy subject, I know.
And there's a wide spectrum as well. I think between I'm a fishy operator and I'm a criminal operator, there is a lot of color in between, or gray shades. I would say when it comes to the criminal side, this is a civil obligation. That not even an FBO, but whoever realizes something, especially in a position of responsibility, that he has to flag things. When it comes to, I have to be careful now. When it comes to non-standard operations, of course you should. Yeah, basically yes. Of course you have. Because you have a responsibility in there, especially in our position as a handling agent again, which I transform into FBO, which is a handling agent as well to a certain extent. Then yeah, we should just be very careful.
Yeah. What do you think, Mr. Hanna?
We have both. As John was just saying, that we do heavy responsibility. Personally, I reported, or ASE has reported twice a gray market. And the problem was from ASE, it was from the operator himself, that they requested to find somebody and hush hush.
So you're in agreement that the FBO
100%.
should take a role in such reporting?
I would
of,
certainly say yes, it should, because it's an ethical thing. If something happens to the aircraft, who's responsible? It's the one who has dispatched the aircraft. This is his responsibility.
Khalid, what's your opinion on this?
I believe that nobody's going to disagree that everyone has to, because this is something which everyone has to disagree with. A gray market is against the, but the question is, how can you prove it? How can you do it? I mean, you don't have the mean or the tool to discover. I mean, we have a lot of corporate clients. These corporate clients, it doesn't mean that the owner is flying the flight. Maybe it is his neighbor, or maybe it is his family, or maybe it is his housemate. We got so many flights with housemates taking the housemate to her home country. I mean, how can you say this is a charter or not charter? What happens usually, and the example mentioned by the gentleman from London executive about taking long time, maybe some countries are taking this to the court, but from our experience, so many operators were fined on spot. And I will give example in Germany, in Paris, and in Italy. Usually during the customs procedure, only the officer will approach the VIP and ask him whether this is a charter flight or not. And then the guy will tell him immediately, yes, it is a charter, or it is not a charter. From there, he can just, hey guys, you are filing flight plan as a non-revenue flight, and this is a charter flight, and they ask them to pay 4,000 euro. But if I am as a FBO or a flight support provider or even ground handling company, how can I know who is that on board and what is the relation between him and the owner? How can I prove it? I believe in so many cases we are going to I would say make mistakes, and which is going to affect everyone.
Right.